Okay. Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to 63rd episode of Creative Online Talk. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn once leaving at it. Albert Einstein. Creative is a group of people, like-minded people who are eager to gain new knowledge. Creative. Cre means creativity. Active means activeness. Creative tagline is knowledge square. Squaring knowledge square, sharing of knowledge doubles our knowledge. Creative vision to build constructive thinking in various domains. Our focus on non-textual, non-academic, non-syllabus related concept. We invite subject expert to present their work on creative platform. I thank all our resource person for sharing their knowledge and accepting our invitation. Every weekend we organizing weekend talks on Zoom platform and we live streaming our program on our YouTube channel Creative GBD. Today's creative topic is our children should become scientists. How? Why? To present this, we have Doricus sir with us today. I welcome our resource person, creative volunteer, and all creative participants for today's session. I invite Panindra, a creative volunteer, to introduce today's speaker. Over to Panindra.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Panindra and a volunteer of Creative Team. Sri BHM Durukesh is from Huya, Hadagalli Taluk, Vijayanagara district of Karnataka. He obtained BSc degree from Kuttur and MSc degree in physics from Gulbarga University in 1997. He is currently pursuing his doctoral degree at Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, studying the interactions of ionizing radiations with nanomaterials. He joined ISRO after his MSc degree and has been contributing to the development of technologies for packing of microelectronics for space applications. Packing of RF and microwave circuits has been his area of expertise. He is currently working as Associate Director in Capacity Building and Public Outreach, ISRO Headquarters, Bengaluru. He is a recipient of NTSC scholarship. He received awards at university and state level science lecture contests. He won Prime Minister National Award for Essay Quiz contest and he received it from then Prime Minister Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao. He was one of the 25 students selected in 1996 to undergo summer training program at Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad, where he worked on Comet Hyakutake. At ISRO, he has received Satellite Technology Day Award, Best Process Development Award, Team Excellency Award, Best Paper Award, and many more. He is involved in popularization of science through writing articles, giving radio programs, and as a volunteer in Vision Group on Science and Technology, Government of Karnataka, which is a brainchild of Bharata Ratna, Professor C.N.R. Rao. He's contributed a chapter on space science in legendary book by Nava Karnataka. Thank you, sir. We welcome you for this weekend talk in Creative.
Thank you, Panindra. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Supriya ji, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you so much. Namaskara. I welcome all to this talk. Just a second, there is. Okay, right. Fine. Let's begin today's afternoon with some dreams. If not my daughter, her daughter should stand on the moon with her child in the lab always, showing the earth, telling the child that, see, that is my home and I came from there. We know jawar, ragi, these things grow in small plants for about few months and then they give one yield. Can we make jawar, ragi, such things grow on trees like tamarind, coconut, so that we get yield year after year? we are blaming science for having synthesized or invented the plastic. Can we use the same science to invent or synthesize a plastic that when we dip in hot water gets simply dissolved? Or can we find a insect which we can genetically modify to feed on the plastic? So these are some of the dreams that we can think of. Now the next point is somebody has to do this. Who? Let's not leave it to others. Let us contribute whatever is possible from our side. For this, we need to engage ourselves in science. In other words, we need to become scientists. Today, I would like to give a glimpse of, say, 4 things. How one can become scientist, why one should become scientist, and then what is science and how it is done. Excuse me, I'm having some echo here. I'll just fine. I think now it is not there. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So I was just mentioning that we would like to get a glimpse of 4 things: how to become scientist, why to become scientist, what science is, and how it is done. Dear friends, I am extremely happy to be able to share views and few tips on this topic. I thank Creactive team. Special thanks are due to Srinath, Sri Hiryanna, Dr. Girish, Supriya, and Panindra, and all those who are actively involved. My plan is this: I have a 12 slide presentation, but today morning when I was going through, it took about 50 minutes to complete. Let me quickly go through that so that we will have enough time for question answers. It is targeted for high school students, though I can see participants from, say, elementary school, some teachers, parents, and even postgraduate students are there. High school students generally have a notion of, say, what scientists will do or what science is. My my hope is that as we go along, it becomes more clearer and clearer for them what really scientists do and what science is. If you have questions, possibly I prefer them to be written in the chat box so that we can take up in the end. I don't mind. I mean, you can ask questions in Kannada, Hindi, if you feel comfortable. I know this talk is going to be live streamed on YouTube and then it is going to be archived on YouTube. Those who watch this on YouTube, if you have some questions, if you want to ask, you may please write them in the comment. We will try to answer them for few days. One suggestion is please do watch the say program completely or YouTube completely so that without watching completely, please don't make any opinion on these things. So let's get started. I'll share my screen. So Priyaji, can you confirm that it is visible?
No, sir.
No, I did not hear yes or no.
No, sir.
Okay.
Share screen.
Now, madam.
No, sir.
Okay. Sorry, you asked me to send it. I was working on this. Um,
There downward share screen option is there, no?
yeah, yes.
Click
So
on it.
yeah. Mm. How about now?
No, sir. Sir, that green color button downward, it's visible,
Right.
right? Just click on it
Correct. Hmm.
and then select any one of your screen, and the
Yeah.
share option is there.
Correct.
Click on it. If not, you just send it in WhatsApp or mail, sir. Just you
Yeah.
talk with other students. I'll download it and send you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine. I'm just doing that.
Hey, restaurant.
It's crazy. I've sent it.
Okay, sir. It's loading, sir. 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. You can make it full screen.
Yes, sir. Done.
Oh, thank you. Fine. Sorry, friends, for this. Then you can go to the next screen, madam. Yes. By the end of this talk, we hope to find answers for these questions. How do we become scientists? Where all we can become scientists? Generally, what we find is high schoolers, they will have a goal of, okay, becoming scientist, but then as years pass by, it seems to get evaporated. But how do we sustain that goal? What plan we can do? And then why one should become scientist? For what reasons one should not try to become scientist? What if you try to become and then you don't become one? And what scientists do, and what is science, how it is done? So these are the questions that we will be trying to answer. What you are seeing on the background is the galaxy NGC 2336. It's captured by Astrosat. It's about 100 million. That is 10 crore light years from us. Next screen, please. Fine. So, first thing that we have to understand and take it for, say, into our minds is that being scientist is a profession. In simple words, becoming scientist is a salaried job. The way we become teachers, doctors, drivers, pilots, we can become scientists. So there is a way. So the first myth that we should bust is that we all stand equal chance of becoming scientists. Some high schoolers think that, okay, it may be for elite students who may have access to some unique course or something. No, that's not the case. We all stand equal chance. Fine. Next one, please. Yeah. The question is where all we can join as scientists. So research organizations basically funded by government like ISRO, DRDO, DAE, CSIR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, IMD, like this. Notably, the list is only the representative list I have given. It may be of some surprising fact to you that some of the private companies also have R&D labs where the research will go on, and you can join them as scientists there also. Next, the question is, Supriya, next please. Why do they employ? This is what we will come across. Like, why at all somebody has to pay us salary for becoming scientists? When it comes to government, government wants the best possible benefits of the science to be passed on to the, say, their citizens, and then it helps developing the nation. When it comes to private companies, they do this to serve the humanity through the knowledge gained by the scientists working in their labs. For example, if you join a pharmaceutical company and then say you found a cure for cancer, I'm sure you'll be immensely satisfied. Your I'm seeing somebody scratching there. I request not to do. Okay. Your company, your employer, that private company will get the patent for this. They make a lot of money, and hopefully they reinvest that money into science to be able to do more science. So this is why they employ people as scientists. So what have we learned so far? We all can become scientists. There are some research organizations run by government. There are some research labs run by private companies where we can join as scientists. Next, please. At the same time, there are some universities or institutions of national importance like IISc, IITs, IISCRs, NITs, or even other universities like Agricultural University or the NIMANS. Again, the list is very, very representative. I have filled in only those much which can be filled into a screen. There are plenty of universities or institutions. Why I have different, I mean, put different color is the type of work that as a scientist you will do in research organization or a private lab will be slightly different from what we do in the universities or institutions. In the research organization or private lab, we will be focusing on utilizing the science knowledge to fulfill or meet the requirement of a project. Whereas at universities or institutions, we'll be going deep into the science so that we understand the nature better. I'll explain this in detail as we go along. Next one, please. There are many avenues where, Supriyaji, next. Yeah. There are many avenues where we can join as, say, scientists. Now, there is some place where we will not be joining, but we can allow others to join. Those are called startups. I'm sure you will be knowing about this. So, suppose you have a good idea and you are confident that this idea will work. If you are rich enough, you can invest your money and grow it as a company. If you are, if you can convince rich people, they may pull up some money and give you, or you can derive the money from public also. If public is satisfied, they can give. Now, overall, what we have seen is there are some research organizations or universities where we can work, private labs also, or we can start on our own. What is seen in this screen is particularly about what are the labs that are available in India. Situation would be same as we go to, say, even foreign countries. If you settle there, possibly you will find similar set of organizations, universities, or startups, or even private labs. So these are the avenues where we will be working. Next, please. Supriyaji, next. Yeah. The main question, important question is how do I join? You are interested to join, right? You are interested to join and they are ready to give you the job. How this bridge can happen? People ask, how did I join ISRO? The way I joined ISRO is the follows. When I was in my final year MSc, we came across a advertisement in which we saw in the employment news that ISRO is looking for scientists, and those who are having BE degree or MSc degree are eligible. Those who are in the final year also can apply. I applied. After a few weeks, I got a call. Thankfully, I could do fairly well in the interview. And then after a few weeks, I got the selection. After joining, I realized that many of my colleagues joined after their BE, MTech, or even PhD. So what it means is these are the ways, more or less. Yeah, Supriyaji next. More or less, this is how the other organizations will, say, government-based organizations will select us. Then, just to make sure that you get the correct point, today, if you want to join ISRO or any other organization, possibly you may have to go through a written test, then the interview will follow. When it comes to institutions or universities, it is expected that you will do your degree, post graduation, do some 2 to 3 years of postdoctoral fellowship in a reputed university, and then apply as a professor. When it comes to labs, possibly you will have to keep seeing their website so that they offer you a job if they find you suitable. So this is how we will be joining. The most important factor in all this is that we need to apply. Why I am telling this with so much stress is that we find very bright students from rural area and semi-urban area. They think that becoming scientist is not for us. It is for some, say, city students, elite, so-called elite students who may be having access to, say, special classes or something like that. No. As I told in the previous slide itself, we can become scientists, and as long as you are eligible, you please apply. So this is what we need to understand. Next one, please. Yes. As I was mentioning, high schoolers, maybe after this presentation, once they go through, we all will get highly motivated. And people come and say, students, yes, sir, I also want to become scientist. But after few years, when we see it fades, maybe for right reasons or wrong reasons also. What we find is once they come to the end of the degree, generally we find it goes by chance, not by choice. There is some opportunity, there is some friend who referred him, my mama told like this, my uncle told like this, they join. In order to ensure that such a thing will not happen, we need to have some plan. So though it may not be directly related to becoming scientists, I would like to share these, say, suggestions with you, means high schoolers. They are like this. You may please list down all the jobs that are possible, all the careers that you can, say, think of. From this list, choose those things which you are interested in. From the second list, you choose those things which require a formal degree. Why I am telling this is, suppose you want to become actor. Becoming actor may not require a formal degree, but becoming scientist requires. So you list down there. Then in the fourth column, you have to prioritize. Means assuming that all that you want to become is available to you. Which appointment order you may pick. So this is where we will come to know, okay, top priority A, B, C, D. So this is step number 1. Next, step number 2 is when you are in the degree, right from first year, second year itself, you should look at the opportunities. It could be from, say, employment news or other places. But for sure, in during those days you are not eligible to apply. But it ensures that by the time you come to the final year, you are knowing that some such opportunity will come and you will be in a position to apply for this. Then step number 3, you apply wherever you are eligible. That doesn't mean that, okay, though it is not there in your priority list, what help it helps in a way that You get to know how to write exams, how to give interviews, which will help you to get your top priority job. Possibly, if you can do this right from the high school days, I believe you can maintain the tempo and interest to become scientist, and you will continue to do this. Next one, Supriya. Right. So you tried all these things. You did not become what you wanted to become. So that's why I have not put the word scientist. In the last one, you wanted to become something. Priority A did not happen. Priority B did not happen. Please don't get disheartened. It is destiny. It may be that destiny wants you to do some other noble or very important work in some other field, and just get on. Fine. Right. Next. Yes. So next important question is, what is that I will be working on? In the universities and institutions, as I told, you will be working on some understanding the nature or natural world. In the organizations or in private labs, we will be utilizing that knowledge for a given purpose. Next one, please. Yes. So we, as high schoolers, we believe that all things that needs to be discovered in this universe have already been discovered. All things that we need to invent have already been invented. Our teachers only pressurize us to learn all this. But the truth is quite far from this. We need to do lot of things, and yeah, I will quickly, I'll take my own example and really rush through what you can do in an organization or in a private lab, and I will come later to what we can do in the institution or in university. So Priyaji, press please. Yes, so I joined UR Satellite Center. Yeah, you can press, I think, 2 3 more times. UR Satellite Center is the place where, no, I think go back. Satellite, where Indian satellites are built. Satellite is an electronic equipment. If we hypothetically consider an electronic circuit, what is shown on the screen, as the electronic circuit of a satellite, which is very simpler version what I have told. It will be much more complex, and it will have several components. Then what is the way to realize a satellite? Ideally, next please. Ideally, if we can realize the satellite in an integrated circuit, the blue one that is shown below the say circuit diagram, that would be wonderful. Which means one integrated circuit, one satellite. This is the target. But then unfortunately, certain types of components like typical inductors or high value resistors cannot be accommodated on a single IC. So it has to be kept outside. What do we do? On the right side top, what you are saying is the IC that you may see on a PCB. The black portion is the plastic one. Internally, it gets connected. Next one, please. Yes, in space, actually, we are not supposed to use plastic. Then what do? We take a ceramic plate. The ceramic plate is something similar to what we put in our house, but then it will be high property ceramic. Then the integrated circuit will sit on that board. The board will already have the tracks, and then what you see inside inside that box is that you will have inductors, resistors, capacitors, and then this makes one circuit. This is called hybrid microcircuit. I was asked to work in this division. Next, please. Yeah, this is one of the hybrid circuits that you can see. Next. Yeah, actually, the communication between the ground station and the satellite happens at microwave frequencies. We need modules that work at microwave frequencies. Next. These are the modules that typically work at microwave frequencies. When I joined, these modules or such modules were either imported or they were one or two of them were released at HL Hyderabad. With the help of my seniors, my colleagues, and people who joined later than me, within few years, we are now able to realize all these modules within our lab. Means import is not an option now. Import substitution has happened. Next, please. When Chandrayaan 1 came, we got a very good opportunity. What you are seeing in the middle, that infrared say image, is that is a 5-watt amplifier. Typically, the remote sensing satellites have to send their data from about 200 to say 600, 800 kilometers. For that, 1 watt is good enough. But then the signal has to come from moon. It has to start with, it has to have at least 5 watts. But 5 watt and above typically is used for military applications. Maybe for that reason or for other reasons, we were we were finding it very difficult to source this 5-watt ICs. But then one Japan company came up and they said, we have, it is not space grade, but we will give you, it is 13 watt. We wanted 5 watt, they are giving 13 watt. You may feel we were happy. Not really. Because if I, to protect the circuits beyond this circuit, I can draw only 5 watt from this. Remaining amount of energy has to get dissipated within this. It is like if I don't remove this heat, the IC will pack. This was very good challenge that we enjoyed. With the change of material, the material dimensions and the process, we could realize these 5-watt MMIC amplifiers. And today, Chandrayaan 2 is sending this data, telemetry data, and that is coming through these modules only. And they served well in Chandrayaan 1 and Mars orbiter mission as well. Next one, please. Yes, I mentioned that there are some resistors. So if the resistor, the black one on the left bottom is the black patches or resistors, there is a process to increase the resistance of a resistor once printed. But within our lab, using laser, we could develop a method with which we can down trim, means reduce the value of resistance also. That has a lot of composite structures to explain. If required, I will explain during question answer session. Next one. Another another challenge that we enjoyed is one European company was supplying 1 watt say heaters for the use in propulsion. But then due to some reason, they said they will not be able to supply. So to prepare this 1 watt heater, we had to weld platinum wire and nichrome wire. So there, whatever you are seeing the shining part, those are the welds that we could do with laser. This, as you can see, platinum and nichrome, they have got two different melting temperatures. Their specific heat is different. Their dimensions are also different. So using Q is equal to MST, we could arrive at one optimum condition where the laser light, circular light, falls on a portion of the platinum wire and nichrome wire so that it gets held. So these were the contributions that I could do. Unfortunately, the organization recognized the down trimming activity with the Satellite Technology Day Award for the development of hybrid microcircuits. I was one of the team members who received the Best Process Development Award. And then this nichrome to platinum wire welding, this got us the Team Excellence Award. Moving ahead. Next, madam. Yes, yeah, you can press again. Yeah. No, you can go ahead. Yeah. Page 8. Yeah. Press. Fine. So what you see on the screen is a sodium iodide thallium doped inorganic scintillator. The light that coming out is the scintillation. When X-rays fall on this, these materials give light. By counting the light, we know how much X-ray has fallen on this. So this type of detectors are used in space to observe the universe, X-ray universe. Problem is these inorganic scintillators can be developed only in similar or limited sizes. Next one, please. There are some materials like organic scintillators which can be developed as a large area. We prefer to have large scintillators, large detectors in space so that our detection is more efficient, more advanced. But the problem is if we pass X-rays through these organic scintillators, that are the ones that are there on the right side, X-ray will simply pass through this. The reason is it has got carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, which are very low atomic number materials, and they cannot stop X-rays. Next, please. For this reason, there is a proposal that okay, you take plastic scintillator and put nanoparticles of high atomic number materials into that. Now what happens? The X-ray that would have simply passed through the plastic scintillator is now stopped by the nanoparticle. Nanoparticle releases the electron. The plastic scintillators are very efficient in converting the electron energy into light. So they convert, and that is how we know this much X-ray has fallen. So we are able to solve both the problems. Like we can develop large, say, detectors, and we can still get the X-rays get detected. With this hope, we started. So what we did is we realized the nanoparticle loaded plastic scintillators. But yeah, next one, please. In theory, it is supposed that whenever X-ray falls on any species of nanoparticle, the electrons will come out. But our experiment initially, our experiment showed that the number of electrons from different nanoparticle will be, expectedly they can be different. But some of the nanoparticles will emit electrons only with limited energy. So this is something not predicted. Yes, next please. This type of problems are seen in other places also. For example, these nanoparticles, whatever we are seeing in the top one, that green ones, suppose there is a cancer and your hand has got a malignant tissue. What the doctors will do, they will administer the nanoparticles into this area, and then now they will hit with the X-ray. Earlier also they were hitting with X-ray, that in the radiotherapy. Now that the nanoparticles are there, they convert the X-rays into electrons, and then those electrons will hit or break the double strands so that the malignant tissue can be, say, killed. But then there are some surprises there also. Certain nanoparticles are working, certain are not working. So Emily Brunn and others made a statement that we need to know simple physical interaction between X-rays and nanoparticles. Next one, please. Under these conditions, we have developed a method to study what happens when X-rays strike a given nanoparticle. How many number of electrons can come qualitatively? What is the qualitative energy range of these electrons that can come out? So this is what we have developed. It is under review, so I am not able to say show this here. But then the question is, we wanted to initially know which nanoparticle will be, say, more suitable to be embedded into plastic scintillator, make the scintillators and use it in space. But then we are now getting into, say, trying to understand why do some nanoparticles hinder the emission of electron. Next one, please. Next, Supriya.
Supriya, next slide. Supriya? Supriya, are you something
Sir,
is there?
1 minute, sir. My system network
Okay.
issue. Sir, you
Okay.
go ahead, sir. I'll
Yeah,
just.
fine. Yeah. So now we have come to a stage where, for engineering purposes, we could have gone ahead with, say, using the better or suitable nanoparticle, make circuits and use them. But then we have come across a point where the knowledge, nobody is knowing what exactly will happen when we strike the nanoparticle with the X-rays. So this is an opportunity. These type of things are done in the universities, where to understand, I think we were in 8. Yeah, correct, right. So why do we study this? That is a question. The question is basically to understand the very nature of the natural world. So this is typically done in the universities. Next, Superior, you can press 3 times so that it goes to the next slide. Yeah. This is typically done in the universities, and this is what we mean by science, doing science. What you see in the background is a crater on Moon called, named as Sarabhai crater, and this image is from Chandrayaan 2. So now moving on with our presentation, we would like to know, just now we understood that there are 2 types of activities that scientists do. In organizations, we focus on utilizing the knowledge for our purpose. In the universities, we want to understand more and more natural world. So what is science? If you ask a high schooler, basically they may tell, okay, it is like a subject, another subject like social mathematics that we need to study. If we ask an official, they may tell this is the way science is a boon for us to live. If you ask a historian, they may tell it is one of the greatest achievements of humankind. But then, for the purpose of today's understanding, for those who want to become scientists, science is an activity. Supriya, please. Yeah. So again, so this is activity being performed by interested human beings. We do it voluntarily. Why do we do? To better understand the natural world following a credible route, which is called scientific method. If you are becoming scientist, you will have to be aware that you will be wanting to know the natural world better and better. You will have to do some activity. For this, you need to follow a method. What is that method? Next. Yes, how it is done? Next, please. Yes. There is no single method like, okay, you have to follow this method only. But typically, what we can do, even today, we can, high schoolers also can start, say, becoming and performing like scientists. What you can do is, you have to observe the natural world. Something interesting means you will have to ask yourself, has it been answered? For this, we will survey for the answers. This is what literature survey we do. Now, suppose nobody has answered this. That's an important problem for us. We want to find answer. Why? Naturally, we are interested to find the answers because something will be written after our name. What do? We will think about this and ask a suitable question. Ask a question. Suppose if it is like this, if I do this experiment, this should be my result. And we do this test by experimentation and we cross check it. If once we understand, we will publish, means we will let others know. And until somebody proves it wrongly, uh, to be wrong, that understanding will be credited to your name. Next one, please. Yes. So this is what a typical scientist will do. On a typical day, you will find them in the organizations or private labs working towards a given project and making things using the science, how best you can give the answer for a given project. End is fixed. Whereas in the universities or institutions where it is open ended, you are going deep into the understanding of natural world. So either this or that. If you are lucky, you will be doing both of them. In organizations, you will be focusing more on project oriented with little of say uh, pure science, and in the universities it could be other way, like your main focus is to understand the universe better and better, but then to get the grants you will have to tell the person who is going to give you grant that this is going to help this project. Next one please. Yes, now last point is why we had to become scientists. As you can see, in Man Ki Baat, the Prime Minister declared that the attraction for science among our young generation should increase. The country needs more scientists. When science is harnessed, keeping in mind the needs of common people, it becomes the most valuable contributor to general humanity, not just the country. So this is from national perspective. But then if you come to the individual perspective, next please. Yeah, next one. We all need a job. We all need to say take care of our stomach and daily needs, correct? So we need a job, and if it can be a scientist, why not? Then, unlike other jobs, or with say some people derive intellectual satisfaction in terms when they are teachers, when they are doctors, like that when you discover something, when you meet the ends meet, you will have the intellectual satisfaction. You will have the opportunity to contribute to the development of the nation or knowledge to the humankind itself. There are some reasons for which you should not become a scientist, like these are wrong reasons. Next one please. There are some wrong reasons for which you should not try to become scientist. Immediately you will become famous. No, better you may choose some other place. You are going to get a permanent knowledge for the people. No, this is not is going to work. We have understood yesterday this way. We have current understanding. Tomorrow it can be changed. I'm going to answer everything. No, we will be dealing only with the natural world, nothing more. So if you are thinking for these things, maybe other professions may be better. Next one, please. Yes, press again. This is the last slide. Press again. Yes, we initially thought we will have the answers for how do we become scientists, where all we can become scientists, to sustain the goal of becoming scientists, what we can do, and why we have to become scientist, for what reasons one should not try to become scientist, what if I don't become one, what scientists do, what is science and how it is done. I hope we could do some justice to all these questions. With this, I stop my presentation and I'll be very happy if there are any questions to be answered. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. If any questions, please raise your hand. We will unmute you and you can ask the question.
I think you allow Nandini. She has been asking so many times. Please allow her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nandini, go ahead.
Sir, what work do you do in ISRO? What kind of work do you do in ISRO?
Okay, I think I should not have rushed through. Okay, I'll tell you again quickly and briefly. In ISRO, the activities are to, there are some problems on the earth, like we need communication, we need to know how the earth is, or we need to have navigation. For these reasons, and even to understand the universe, we need to place the satellites in the space. To solve the problems on the ground, we go to space. So In space, what we place is the satellite. Satellite has several components. It has solar panels for generating the power. It has sensors to orient itself properly. And to do all these things, we need electronic circuits. If you say cut open your old mobile, you will see one PCB, printed circuit board, on which different components you can see. These components will make the mobile work. Similarly, the electronic circuits will make the satellite work. There are better ways of realizing the electronic circuit. PCB is one of them. Then there are hybrid circuits. So I am involved in one division where we realize these electronic circuits. This I have been doing for last 22 years, and since last 1 year I am with ISRO headquarters with the capacity building office. So if you ask me, my work in ISRO has been that we realize the electronic circuits, we realize the hardware which is required and useful for the satellite. Did I answer the question, Nandini? I think muted
Yes,
now.
yes, sir. He's showing his hand.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay. Pavan, you can ask the question.
Hello, sir. Namaste. What is the basic qualification required to become a scientist? One question. Second question is how any other courses has to be completed to become a scientist? What is the duration of that? If I require any other clarifications, to whom I should contact?
Okay, set of questions. Fine. The first one is basic qualification to become a scientist. As such, yeah. When we were all joining, Dr. Girish, me, and say maybe Srinath, when we were all joining, it was possible for even say, okay, I'll put it this way. Today, if somebody wants to join as a scientist, basically, typically the basic degree would be an engineering degree or MSc. So this could be the minimum that we can say. Other posts are there where one can join as scientific assistant, then they can grow as scientist. But as we are seeing, the today if somebody wants to join, preferably it could be BE or say MSc. This is first one. Second is there are no such courses through which one can join ISRO. Of course, we have got IIST, Indian Institute of Space Technology. After second PUC, students can join there. Some of them will get inducted into ISRO. They get selected and join as scientists in ISRO. But for that, there are no other courses. So, and as such, yeah, duration you asked, that if you are thinking of IIST, then it is 4 years course. Otherwise, there is no such course. Then I forgot the last question.
Whom should we contact for more details?
Yeah. See, generally, ISRO website is supposed to give all this, and I'm actively involved in that. So
okay.
The ISRO website will give all these details, and we are in the process of making this more appealing, more easily searchable. You will get all those details. Still, if questions are there, one can write to isropr@isro.gov.in.
Sir, once again.
Yes.
Once more, tell me.
Yes. ISRO PR, ISRO PR.
Okay.
PR Public Relations @ISRO.
Okay.
.gov.
Okay.
.in.
Okay, sir.
So this is the contact number.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank
Sir,
you.
with the caution, don't write whatever you want to know. Please, we have to write cautiously to the ISRO, whatever specifically you want to know. Simply, people are writing so many things which have been observed.
Fine.
Next question, Ritesh.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Right.
sir,
Sir, in sun there is nuclear fusion like hydrogen, deuterium. In world they will test all hydrogen bomb like nuclear weapons. Is there any we can control any like fusion?
Fusion. Okay. I think, yeah. See, the question is, can we manufacture or have an artificial sun in the earth?
Sir.
So the answer is, the for last 70 years there has been an effort. It's called tokamak. The effort is that we say fission is possible. That's what we have seen as the bomb. Fusion requires highly elevated temperatures, and the main problem was, until recently, main problem was you need an utensil to hold the materials that get fused at the high temperature. But then the material itself was melting down. So now what has been possible is to hold these materials using magnets. Now there is a toroidal ring into which you can insert these materials, and then fusion is being tried. But till now it has not been successful. Let us hope it becomes successful and then we get fusion possible on Earth.
Sir, my question is how to control that fusion in world they're testing like Tasar bomb from Russia like that all.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question, Ritesh. See, it is like this. When scientists invent something, they give some benefits. It's always double-edged sword. I'll ask you. See, mobile has been a great utility from science. Can any one of us confidently say we use mobile only for the educational purpose? We will use it for entertainment purpose also. Some time waste also we do. It is, what happens is, when it is available with say powerful nations or powerful people for right reasons. Why I'm saying right reason? Right reason for them. So for right reasons, they may use it. There is there is a line of thinking that if atom bomb was not put on Hiroshima, Nagasaki,
Yes, sir.
the Second World War would have continued for some more time, and it would have, say, gone into more disasters. There,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we cannot say whether it is right thinking or not. But then this is one line of thinking. So in books, what they write is peace is the time between two wars. War is inevitable. People will use.
Yes, sir.
Then it's also written that if you are prepared, I mean, if you want peace, you should always be prepared for war.
Yes, sir.
So somehow it has been used. In fact, the way we blame, say, whoever is using. In fact, the First World War and Second World War, the competition and the wars have led us so many things in science.
Sir.
So this question, as a scientist, I think we need not worry, and definitely as a human beings, we have to worry that it should not go to an extent that we kill ourselves. Ourselves means all humankind, but then it is beyond a limitation. I mean, beyond the level of scientists to do anything on this.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
the right answer is no. Will we be able to do something to stop? Possibly no. Or until you find out through science some other thing that deters it, that destroys the bomb before it explodes.
sir. Sir, the
Rakshita.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Namaste.
After second PUC, which is best degree to get selected in ISRO?
Rakshit, it is very difficult to state anything like that. I'll put it this way. It's an interesting question. I know many people ask, but my only hesitation is because this is going live and it may get archived. But nevertheless, I would like to answer like this. In ISRO, as of today, if we see, there are mechanical engineers, there are electronics engineers, there are MSc people, there are computer engineers. Among them, the number of mechanical engineers, the number of electronics engineers is much higher.
Okay.
I think that indirectly answers your question.
Okay, sir.
But this may change. This may change. So there is nothing permanent here. So it may change.
Okay. Ritesh?
Sir, sir, ISRO want to develop like NASA and like Russia. How to develop that like high ISRO?
Good. That's a good question. See, we may feel that there is competition between NASA, between Roscosmos, that is Space Agency of Russia, or JAXA, or ESA, with ISRO or something. It's not so. Why it is not so is this. We have our own targets. We are not on the equal footage, or our priorities are different. ISRO in India, being the nodal space agency, wants to fulfill the needs of the country using the space for peaceful applications. We are now open to use space for other requirements also, but as on when it started, it was for the purpose of serving the needs. But then whether we have met our requirement, answer is yes. That way, it is like this. You want to get 95 marks. So your friend wants to get 90 marks. Though we may say competition is there, if he gets 90 marks and you get 95 marks, both of you have met your requirement. We don't have to compete each other. Now, yeah, going further, yes, we need to be second to none even in technology. That's a requirement. For that, we have to work harder. And then for this purpose, what government is doing now is that all these days space activities have been done by the government, that is ISRO. Now even private persons, even including you, you will try to become a ISRO scientist, let us say, and if you are not able to get into, you can start your own company and start doing space business. So possibly ISRO and private organizations, all of us put together, we should be able to do, say, we should be able to put higher and higher targets and meet them. It's not to compete with others, but to make our standard higher and higher.
Sir, and if we launch any rockets, it will endanger like world peace. Like if we develop like countries, the smoke is released and pollution will happen.
Correct. Yeah. But see, we need development also, and we need, it's a side effect of the development. So that's why some term is used as sustainable development. Means it should be environmental friendly and our purposes should be served. It's a very difficult challenge, but you will enjoy. If you start working on this, you will enjoy. Basically, we need a car that doesn't give any smoke. So your answer will be electric car. But then to produce electricity, again somewhere, if we are using coal, that coal factory will give a lot of smoke. So we need to balance at all stages. This is what is required. Yes.
Jashwant?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Sir, my question is, can we build artificial moons and suns by nuclear fusion?
Artificial?
Moon or sun by nuclear fusion.
to Ritesh or somebody I answered. Okay, just quickly I'll summarize. We means human beings, scientists, engineers are looking to develop artificial sun on the ground. It's called tokamak. If you search on say internet with the tokamak, you will get lot of details. So far it has been say mix of success as well as shortfalls are still there. So far it has not been possible, but we don't know, one day, any day it may become possible. Yes.
Okay. Next, quick.
No problem. Let them ask questions, madam. Nandini.
Okay, 1 minute. Chaya?
Sir, namaste, sir. Can we speak in Kannada? Kannada. Do you know Kannada?
Yes.
ಅದೇ ಓಕೆ, DRDOಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಗ್ ಓದ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂಚೂರು ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ, ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ DRDO, actually I don't have full information. Possibly drdo.org ನೀವು ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ you will get to know all the details. But to what extent ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ, ಮೋರ್ ಆರ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇನ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಸ್ರೋ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ICRB, ಇಸ್ರೋ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ನವರು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಗೇಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೇಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟವಾಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿಪಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ಗೇಟ್ಗೆ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಏನು ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ then it will be useful. In the sense, to be more specific, ನಾವು ಓಕೆ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುನ 2 ಸಾರಿನೂ ಬಳಸ್ಬೋದು, 3 ಸಾರಿ ಬಳಸ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ 4ನೇ ಸಾರಿ ಬಳಸಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಇದು ಒಂದ್ ತರದ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಂದ್ರೆ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ದೇರ್, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ನಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ? ಈ ತರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಓದ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಓದ್ಬೇಕು. ಗೇಟ್ಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಡೂ ಬೆಟರ್.
ಜಶ್ವಂತ್.
Hello sir, can I talk in Kannada sir?
ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ
ಸರ್. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಸರ್. ಇದು ಆಂಟಿ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಐತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್. ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ತ್ ಮೇಲೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಜಸ್ವಂತ್, ನನಗೆ ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಬಟ್ ಐ ರಿಯಲಿ ಅಪ್ರಿಶಿಯೇಟ್ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಓದಿರೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಆಂಟಿ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಐ ನೋ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್, ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥಕ್ಕೆ ತರೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅದು ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನೋ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೈ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್. ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಅನದರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್, ಈಗ ರಾಕೆಟ್ಗಳು ಆರದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬೀಳುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ರೆಸಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಗಳು, ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಓಕೆ, ಇದೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಜಸ್ವಂತ್. ಆಸ್ ಆನ್ ನೌ, ಟು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಆಸ್ ಆನ್ ನೌ ಅದ್ರ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಅದು ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಸ್ರೋದ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಏಜೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ರೀಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ಸುಮಾರು 40-50 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದನೂ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದೆ. ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 2-3 ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ RLV ರೀಯೂಸಬಲ್ ಲಾಂಚ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಆ ತರದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಅದರ್ ವರ್ಷನ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಬಲೂನ್ ಅನ್ನ 84 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಒಯ್ದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಊದಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಡೌನ್. ಈ ಬಲೂನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಈ ತರದ ಬಲೂನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಪೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕೋದಾದ್ರೆ then they also will come down slowly. If they can come down slowly, possibly we will be able to locate and then make use. So these works are going on. But as on today, ಅದು ಅವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. In future, we may have to recover or design the whole launch vehicle such that it entire thing comes back.
Okay. ಜಯಂತ್.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಇದು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಜಂಕ್ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ ಸರ್?
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಗುಡ್. ಯಾವ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಜಯಂತ್ ನೀನು? ಫೈನ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನಿನ್ ಧ್ವನಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ
I had some information on that boy. He does lot of telescope observations. ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. He may be 6th or 7th class. He is somewhere near Anekal.
ಓಕೆ ನೈಸ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಗುಡ್ ಜಯಂತ್, ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಅಪ್ರಿಷಿಯೇಬಲ್. ಈಗ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸ್ ಯು ಸೆಡ್ ಜಂಕ್ ಇದೆ. ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಜಂಕ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜಂಕ್? ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್, something that is there in the unwanted place is a junk. So the question is, suppose if we are launching some satellite today, there are methods, say about 10% or few kgs of propellant, if it is still there, then we are asked to push this to the beyond space, means beyond usable space, 36,000 kilometers and beyond, so that it goes into a graveyard orbit. But then you are asking whether they can be brought down. See, if the orbit is circular, what happens is it takes theoretically infinite time, but very long time to come back. But due to gravity, these satellites get drifted towards the Earth. Those in the polar orbit, they will drift fast and they enter atmosphere and they burn into ash. Very occasionally, we may get as a junk, ಇಡೀ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬೀಳೋ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ತರದ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ. ನಾವು ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಮೇಕ್ ದಮ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಡೌನ್? ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್ is a difficult proposition. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ if you see the circle, if you see the sphere, it is easy to find a way away from the circle. If you are coming towards the earth, it is more likely that you will have to encounter other objects on the way, right? Fine.
Sir, there are some people they are hesitant to ask because they are thinking children program anta. So this forum is meant for all, sir. We are not concentrating on children. Please feel free to ask, sir. They have written in chat box. Supriya madam, please allow them. Some elders also want to ask. It will be nice that Darukesh will answer.
That's why, sir, we asked to raise the hand. Here it will be difficult to allow everyone.
Now one professor I want to ask. Please, Professor Vijay Kumar, some Professor Vijay Kumar, please allow madam that number.
One minute, sir.
From my side, I'll be very happy to answer.
Darukesh, sir, here. I know. Now, initially we started for children. We started looping many people. It has become very hybridized forum audience. So we don't mind. Everything is welcome, sir. That's all.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Vijay Kumar, sir, you can talk with sir.
Hello. Hello.
Ha, sir.
Sir, your voice is not audible. Please make sure your voice and then come back.
Vijay Kumar sir, ನೀವು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. Possibly.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. There is some technical glitch rather. Sir, I'm really at the outset. I'm very happy that you have come up with an initiative of such kind, because in some other way we have deceived, our generation have been deceived in such another sense. But now this younger generation, it is a younger India, in fact, future India. Sir, I'm very hats off to you organizing team and resource person like you peoples. You have to come like this, sir. That's what I wanted to say. Otherwise, no other these things, sir. That's what I want to say. Hats off to you people, you team. That's it, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Vijay, sir. Arvind, sir. Arvind Anna.
My name is Tejas. I'm studying from standard.
Okay.
Okay, Arvind, you can ask.
I'm from Kengeri. In Bangalore, we had latest 2 times supersonic sound hurts.
No, Tejas, your voice is not very clear. Please reconnect and then you can ask later. Let others ask.
Okay. Bharani?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
this is my son. He's studying in first standard, and he's more interested in space and science. And he wanted to ask a question from you. Like his question is, what will happen, or how he will handle if the fuel is run out, like in a rocket when launching, or when it is in its passage. If the fuel is run out, how he will handle it?
Okay. It's very interesting. At that age, yeah, he is thinking of these things. Good.
Yeah, and I was so showing him about the Voyager, which is going out the solar system, and it is studying objects. And his question was like, if it is in solar system, it will use the sun's power to generate. But how they use, what fuel they are using? So these 2 questions he had. I did not have answers, sir.
Excellent. Really excellent. Fine. One is, okay, if we are considering the launch vehicle, definitely we will put in that much propellant. We don't call it fuel because there is fuel plus oxidizer. In space, there is no oxygen to burn something, so we call it as propellant. In rockets, we put enough fuel, so there is no question of shortage of fuel when it comes to launch vehicles. Then the other one is very, very correct, like Voyager. So as we go away from sun, the intensity of light is going to reduce, and we will not be able to use the solar panels. Interestingly, Voyager did not use solar panels. It is using something called radioisotope thermoelectric generator. What it means is this: there are alpha radiations, beta, gamma, X-rays, neutrons, like this. So if we take alpha radiations, they will you keep some material and you bombard the material with alpha. What happens to this material is it gets heated up. And next to this material is a cold material or normal temperature material. When you have 2 materials at 2 different temperatures, if I can electrically connect them, I'm likely to get voltage out of this. So this is called Seebeck effect. So this Seebeck effect will give us the voltage that powers Voyager to go beyond, say, even solar system, where the intensity of the light is negligible, almost negligible.
Madam, can you allow Raghunandan from Planetary Society of India?
1 minute, sir. Raghunandan. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Raghunandan, sir. Go ahead, sir. Raghunandan, sir.
Okay, you allow others, madam, no problem.
I think he is speaking, but we are not able to hear. So, Raghu
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Arvind can talk.
Raghunandan, sir, we are not able to hear you.
No issue, madam. Ask Arvind to speak. Arvind also raised.
Arvind.
No, not Arvind. Yes, it is Arvind M.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Arvind, yes.
Okay.
No, both can speak.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ಈ ಥರದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರಿ, ಏನ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಂಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯ್ತು ಬಹಳ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Darakesh sir, he is Arvind from IIT Tirupati. He is a professor there.
Oh, thank you so much. So, I mean, it's a really
A diverse forum. We have all diverse kind of people. He is also our creative associate.
Great. Yeah, all credits to you only, sir. Creative only.
Supriya and Srinathana is what they both are main pillars. So, but this is normally we don't, many people don't understand what scientists means, what they are doing. So these questions normally is there in many people heads. So you explained very nicely those things with an example. So it was a wonderful talking. I enjoyed a lot. I mean, I was looking for some template when somebody asking how to answer this type of questions. That too when I was working on some theoretical physics and other things. So your presentation gave me a good model for me to explain the things if one asks. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Arvindana. Okay. Sidlinga Swami. Okay. It's not audible, sir. Maybe your earphones.
Is it okay now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so, namaste. So it was very nice. So actually, I want to become a scientist from very long back, but now my age is last, so I don't want to. I cannot become. So, what is the suggestion from your side? So what I can do it if I want to do something innovatively, but I want to get patent personally. So individual contribution. How it can be done?
Fine. Basically, sir, if you are looking to contribute to science, we don't have to be salaried person to do science. This is one thing. In fact, a few centuries back, the scientists were lawyers. By profession, they were lawyer. So whatever they earned, they used here. In fact, for Galileo, for that matter, he made the telescope out of two lenses, and then what he could do is, in the Italy, he could look at the power ships. He can see what is there, the content of the ship. Then he will guess, okay, this much supply is there, so demand can be this much. So this is how he became very rich. And fortunately for all of us, he turned the telescope to sky. Even the basics of rockets have come from Goddard and Thiolowski, who were high school teachers. So let us not say that, okay, just because I missed, I cannot do science. It's not so. Science is doable by anybody. And that is the beauty of science. Science will not ask what you were when you are presenting something. So coming to the point, we need to identify some topic where nobody has an answer. Then if we can answer something, that answer, people will ask, how did you come to this answer? This is what we do in the publication. Publication will never ask where is your affiliation. So this is one way. Next, coming to patenting, I think patenting is more to do with the engineering or applied science part of it, where people want something. So, okay, beyond this, possibly I may not be able to tell anything, but I'll be happy to talk to you. We can definitely come out with what is possible.
Okay. So just maybe what I ask further is, okay. So if I try to invent something, so maybe if I do that, so what is the forum I can put my concept out, put my idea, so that I can proceed further, because I may have concept, but if I'll not share across, so whether it's already invented by someone or whether it's there or not, how I'll be knowing, it will be difficult, right? So I want to know from you.
Yeah, correct. Most of us face this problem again and again.
Yeah.
So they say most of the time the papers that we send come back. Main reason is somebody has already done and we are not able to see that. But fortunately, with the age, it should be possible with the keywords. Now there is a risk if you are declaring to somebody that this is what I have found, and whether I want to know whether somebody has done or not. It's possible that it may be misused. So there is an element of risk here. But then for this purpose, what they do is there are patent offices. You have to go and give the patent. They will do something called first cut check. So there is some word for this, because I am not fan of patent. I have not used that term. Some search they do. Then they will tell it is possible, not possible. So, but then our biggest problem will be the way the patents are written. They are written as a lawsuit, something like lawyers do write that. So it is difficult for scientists or practicing scientists, not by profession, even otherwise, to write as they write. As they are written by the lawyers. So possibly what we can do is we can apply for a patent. Let patent office tell somebody has done it. If they don't come back, then you will proceed with that. But it's a long drawn process. It takes almost 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years also by the time we patent. We should be prepared for that.
Ganesh, last question, I think.
Hello. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Can I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
sir,
you are audible.
sir, physics ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟಫ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸೊ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ is how related quantum mechanics to space, sir?
Okay. No, sir. I'm sorry. I don't have a ready answer for this. We can collectively find an answer, but yeah, as we know, the space technology has been, of course, quantum mechanics was there. No,
Darukesh sir, can you?
Yes.
Srinath sir can answer this question.
No, his point is correct. Even Darukesh is also aware of it, because ISRO headquarters is also dealing. Even Arvind also is involved in quantum mechanics. He also can answer. But simply to answer in a loose sense or some lighter way, quantum communication anta ಬಳಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ for a deep space communication ಗೆ future ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೇಸರ್ ನ ಬಳಸಿದಾಗನು ಲೇಸರ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ನ್ಯೂ ಏರಿಯಾ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್. ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್, ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. like interplanetary what you called internet anta. Next maybe we are thinking of to make that talk interplanetary internet anta. Our time alluve there are some new ideas are which are coming up. I mean it's not ready answer as the sir was telling, but still it's a tough area. Very good question, Ganesh. There are some scopes
Yes,
are there. We will see in future some topic on this also.
Most of our electronic circuits, ICs are all working on quantum mechanical principles only.
Sorry, I was just 2 minutes ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ.
No, Arvind. Just quantum mechanics question was there. We just answered it. That's it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dwarkesh sir, many of rising hands. Please, if any possibility is there, you can answer them through your email address or anything. You can communicate.
That is possible. No, I don't have any problem. For another half an hour, I can sit.
No, sir. It's actually running time. We
Raghunandan
scheduled our talk for.
Madam Raghunandan, is it possible for him to just last? Raghunandan,
Yes,
if
sir.
you
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. Sir, I just came in to thank you, sir, for such an excellent talk. Because
Sir, please introduce yourself, sir. It's good to.
Yeah, sir. I am from Hyderabad, from Planetary Society of India. So we are working on space science, astronomy, communication with people. So really, it was great opportunity, sir, to hear you, and you have a lot of patience, and the students also ask the questions which are beyond, like nuclear bombs, testing and all these things. That really, thank you very much, and we like to see that we invite you here in Hyderabad, sir, so you can address the students directly once. And just to add to previous person's questions, sir, there are two opportunities. There is one opportunity now for child scientists. There's something called Inspire, that is the Government of India's program. So any of the children who attended today's program, if they want to be a child scientist, so there is an opportunity. That information Rina sir also knows, so we can just pass it on to them. So 30th September is the last date for that. Second thing, in coming days, we will see. I happen to attend the Patents Office, Chennai Patents Office program in Hyderabad. So they also have some program for children to encourage children as well as youth also to publish patents and all these things. So they will explain us all that process. So I'll pass on that information to Srinath sir and Supriya madam.
Thank you, Raghu. Thank you, Raghu.
Here one note is there. Please check our chat box. There I send our WhatsApp group link where you can join us for more updates. Someone is asking for next session. So every weekend we are conducting online sessions with the different topics. So you can join with us. To get the link and all, please join our WhatsApp group and subscribe our YouTube channel for notification.
Madam, can you request Girish also pitch in just?
Yes,
Girish,
sir.
Girish. We are concluding.
Girish sir.
ಹೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಹಲೋ, ದ್ವಾರಕೇಶ್ ಸರ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಇಷ್ಟು ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿ ಕೂಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಹಲೋ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ದ್ವಾರಕೇಶ್, ಇವತ್ತು ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದಿರೋ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯನ ದ್ವಾರಕೇಶ್ ಸರ್ ಇಂದ ಕಲ್ತ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮುಂದೆ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವರು ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನನಗಿದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಥಮ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋನೆ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಗೊತ್ತೂ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದಿರೋದು ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಇದು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವೆರಡು ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಥಮ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ದ್ವಾರಕೇಶ್ ಸರ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಟೀಮ್ಗೆ, ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಈ ಟಾಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Yes, Girish. Madam, if you don't mind, before closing, there are Veeresh and Bindigi sir. Some ISRO people are there. If they have freedom to speak, it will be better so that hope Dharukesh sir also will permit.
Viraj
I
sir.
don't know.
Open ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಎ ಕಾಲ್.
Viraj sir, you can.
Just before that, no, there are many people who want to ask questions. Possibly, I'll leave my WhatsApp number here.
WhatsApp
Okay.
number and email
Yeah.
address, sir. It will be well helpful for them.
Fine. Okay. My WhatsApp number is 7975 14 2196. That is 7975 14 2196. And email is darukesha@gmail.com. I think that was there in the first slide of the presentation.
You can check chat box also. Some they send. Okay. Okay, sir. Sir, it was very interesting session for all the kids.
Madam, your voice is not audible clearly. Dharukesh sir, can you say whether network problem or is my voice audible so that we can?
Your voice is audible.
Wait a minute, your voice is breaking. Let me take this opportunity to thank our senior colleague and friend Dharukesh sir for having time and delivered excellent talk. Many people have benefited from this. Sir, from Creative team, we express our sincere thanks to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's some network issue here. Thank you, sir, for this beautiful session. Okay.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.